decimated report. We do ours quarterly. And you're just gonna find your name. And then for me, I am at 58. So that means I'm under the MPD standard, which is 5,000. Distance and no exposure time can be utilized as a safety measure by eliminating the time that you're in the radiology room taking x-rays. Distance helps. The more distance you give yourself helps to decrease intensity of the radiation, and it also helps with less exposure to yourself, the animal, and the person that might be helping you. No person shielded or unshielded should be in the primary beam, because the primary beam is the largest value of radiation that you can be exposed to. No non-essential personnel should be in the radiology room during exposure. That shouldn't be in the room because they are a higher risk of radiation exposure because they would not be properly dressed in the proper attire. When doing the landmarks for our pictures that we had to send in, the CRCD radius and ulna, you want to make sure that the center, make sure you're centered at the midshaft to the radius and ulna, and then that the collimation is proximal to the elbow and distal to the carpus. For the ventral dorsal thorax, try your best to do the center exfetal process, and make sure the collimation is cranial to thoracic inlet and caudal to the last rib. When you're doing the ventral dorsal pelvis, which is our OFA quality, you want to make sure the centering is at midline level of the ischial tuberositis. And when you're collimating, there's 3 of them. You want to make sure that you're cranial to the crest of the ilium, caudal distal to the plantar patellar, lateral to the greater trochanterus. Alright, so we're going to do the radius and ulna. So we're just going to tie our tie guys around his foot. And try to keep it close to the toes. And pull this. And then this will just allow us to position his foot a little better and get it straighter.
Okay.
So we're going to just pull the owner up. And choose the patient that we're going to use. Make sure it's on today's date. And press start. And it is ready. Okay, stop it. Okay, so we're going to start another study. So we're just going to look up the owner again. And make sure it's the right pet. And then make sure it's on the correct date. And now we'll get started once this is ready. We're doing the upper GI with barium. You want to make sure that your patient has fasted for at least 12 to 24 hours so that we'll know that the stomach is empty. And beforehand, we try to make sure that an enema is done to remove any feces or fecal matter from the colon. And right when you give the barium, you want to make sure that you obtain a lateral and a VD as your first 2 images. Then after that, you're going to do a 15 minute, and then wait, and then again 30 minutes, and then 60. And then you will try to do an hourly contrast agent until the agent reaches the distal small intestine.